Well, Arsenal have gone ahead to schedule what we call the plan of actions for Julian Timber, including the medical examinations and the unveiling of the player at the London Conley. Welcome to Rokani Media Football. How are you guys? The way you're watching us from home, I go by the names of Rokani David. Today we are really discussing the defensive part of Arsenal, as we are having three defenders linked to Arsenal, as one is closing in on a move to Arsenal. Laporte, you know him very well, left-footed centre back for Man City. He's being linked to Arsenal by Mundo Deportivo, and Inacio is another left back being linked to Arsenal, as Arsenal thinks that maybe Kientieni is going to be really requesting to leave Arsenal for lack of playing time for the integrity of the recently concluded season. Smash the like button, comment and share. If you're only watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. I go by the names of Rokani David, and smash the like button close to 400 times to it that we really make these videos go viral and trendy. So for the subscribers, continue subscribing. We want to hit 20,000 subscribers, and I think we are going to hit this mark before the end of this month. That's it, because you people have shown me that you can, and I've also shown you that I can. Now, today in history, 22 years ago, Saul Campbell signed for Arsenal on this day. It was the 3rd of July 2001. Despite several public assurances he would stay at Tottenham Hotspur, Arsenal signed defender Saul Campbell on a free transfer from North London rivals Tottenham Hotspur. It was really one of those transfers that really shocked the Tottenham Hotspur fans, because he ran the contract down. He kept telling them, I'm going to stay at Tottenham, and the next morning he was seen in a press conference with Arsene Wenger, and he came in through at Arsenal. He played very many games and he won very many trophies for Arsenal. He was part of the Invincibles that really went the entire season without losing a single game, and he was part of that Arsenal side. So that is Saul Campbell, and it has marked 23 years since he last did what we call a Judas Iscariot and really left a rival team to another rival team in North London. And that is one of those things that have gone ahead not to be forgotten by the fans of Tottenham Hotspur, and they hate Saul Campbell for life, for the decision he made to really leave them and obviously go to play for their rivals, that is Arsenal in North London. That is Saul Campbell for you, and hope you've enjoyed that today in history. Now, let's start it off with Julian Timber. Yesterday night, Fabrizio Romano came out and really told us that Arsenal are getting closer to completing Julian Timber deal. Sources feel it will be done next week or this week, because they put up yesterday night. So that means he's talking about this week, with effect from 3rd to 9th of July. Negotiations at final stages since Thursday. More positive contacts took place. Payment terms being discussed with Ajax, and then time for medical. Now, talking about the medical, Mark Wage, Tier 1 journalist, works for the Telegraph in Netherlands, has gone ahead and really confirmed to us that Arsenal has planned the medical tests and presentation to take place in the coming days. Julian Timber leaves Ajax after playing 121 games for the club while winning 3 trophies, of which 2 are league titles, meaning that Arsenal are getting themselves a winner in Julian Timber, whose mentality has been really built to be firm at the age when he was still young. And guys, I've seen most of these players who are going to hit to lift trophies when they're still young. The hunger is really huge. Look at the likes of Kylian Mbappe lifting the World Cup at the age of 18. The hunger is really huge. Ronaldo Cristiano coming in at Man United, and at the age of 20 he went ahead to lift a Carabao Cup, FA Cup. Then he lifted 3 Premier League trophies in a row. He lifted the Champions League, and ever since he left Man United, his hunger of winning has gone ahead to obviously not stop. The same applies to Lionel Messi. Look at Erling Haaland winning a trophy at Borussia Dortmund, coming in at Man City, showing all the hunger. So I believe that the hunger of Julian Timber was really instilled in him by Erik ten Hag when they won 2 league trophies at Ajax and lifting the Eredivisie. That will never get out of his mind. He's really a very good player whose hunger is out of this world. Julian Timber, 22 years of age, and he really looks like he's set to join Arsenal. Arsenal have gone ahead to really do plans for the medical of him, meaning that things are going to move thick and fast this week, as we anticipate that 2 deals of Arsenal, especially for those players that are really coming in just, that have not been part of the Arsenal team, are going to be unveiled. And obviously, we'll see Julian Timber flying to London to undergo his medicals, and everything has been set by Arsenal to see to it that they really get these deals over the line. For Declan Rice, you've watched the first story of the day. I've come in through and obviously told you that he is back in London in preparation to join Arsenal, and it looks like things are really going on in a positive way, as he wants them to be there at his club of West Ham, because right now he's a West Ham player, but he's just one foot in West Ham and the other foot is at Arsenal. So anytime from now, we are going to see him come in to the Arsenal side. But for Julian Timber, he is really so much obsessed to joining Arsenal because of the meeting held with Mikel Arteta, and Arteta promised him that I'm going to play you very well. Now, I obviously told you that Julian Timber might not have gone to Arsenal if at all Arteta never assured him that maybe he's going to change a system. I believe Arteta might shift to a 3-2-4-1 system like Pep Guardiola does, and he might play with a back 3. And on some occasions, we saw him play with a back 3, but I think he felt like he was not safe because of lack of quality in his back line. But with Gabriel Magalhaes, Jakub Kiwior, Julian Timber, and William Saliba, I think he can go for a back 3, and it can really be so much efficient because he's having efficient centre backs who are really good on the ball. Now, to go ahead and obviously confirm that Arsenal are in for another centre back. That is it. They are in for another centre back, and that is a player who is fed up of Man City and wants to leave. That is Laporte, Aymeric. Arsenal have joined Tottenham Hotspur and Aston Villa in the race for Manchester City centre back. That is Aymeric Laporte. The Spanish international looks likely to leave the Etihad this summer, with Pep Guardiola looking to sign a new defender. That is it, and that is Vadio. Vadio is coming in at the Man City side, and they've gone ahead to accelerate the deal of Vadio to Man City, and it looks like Arsenal have gone ahead to join the rest to sign Aymeric Laporte. 29 years of age, formerly worked with Mikel Arteta at Man City, and obviously he wants to bring him in. Now, this boils out in 2 or 3 questions. The first question, is this a confirmation that KNTN is leaving? Secondly, is it a confirmation that he's going to shift to a back 3? Thirdly, is it a confirmation that maybe Mikel Arteta is not safe with Gabriel Magalhaes in his central defense because he's poor at ball playing and he fidgets, especially in those big games, and obviously gives away those goals? So let's tackle one question by one, right? The first one, Gabriel Magalhaes. I understand they tied him on a longer contract, but his capabilities on the ball are really less. And Arteta doesn't want to play with a defender who is not good at that. And we look at Laporte. He's one of those players that's going to have to prove to us that he's good when it comes to ball distribution and is press resistant. If you're having a backline that has Laporte, Saliba, and Julian Timber, if you are playing a back 3, you'll 100% be sure that you can build your ball from the back without fear, because all those players are really press resistant. If you add on Zinchenko, then it just escalates to the next level because it just looks easy for that ball to be moved from the first third of the pitch to the second third of the pitch and to the final third of the pitch to the likes of Martinelli, Saka, and Jesus to really go ahead and obviously score those goals. So that ticks the box of Mikel Arteta wanting a ball-playing centre-back, and that shows you that Jakub Kiwior is here. If Laporte is coming into Arsenal, then that marks the end of days of Gabriel Magalhaes and maybe they can sell him, as interest was there last season from Juventus, and £50 million were put on the table, and Arsenal rejected that money. Then, Kieran Tierney. Obviously, that's the bit that we've been talking about for a very long time. Newcastle, Aston Villa want to sign the player called Kieran Tierney. Good left back, but he is an old school left back. Let's really admit he's an old school left back, though there are links of him to Man City that died a natural death, and that shows you that he can't fit. If he can't fit into the Mikel Arteta system, there is no way he's going to fit into the Pep Guardiola system, because they all play the same kind of ball. And when you look at Mikel Arteta, he wants a player swift and flamboyant like Zinchenko. So, as it stands, that is another tick. That is another box tick, because if we bring in Laporte, then that means Jakub Kiwior will be acting as a backup for for Zinchenko, and sometimes play into the left side of the centre back. So, thirdly, is Arsenal shifting to a back three? Yeah, it might be a reason as to why he's going in for another left-sided centre back, because he knows that he needs to be having them in plenty if at all he's to see that system really thrive. When you saw Thomas Tuchel, that system in his first season at Chelsea thrived because the defenders were there in plenty. But the moment he lacked quality in that back three, it really lost shape, and that's why he lost very many games, and he saw himself sacked as a Chelsea manager. That is Thomas Tuchel for you. So it looks like all those boxes have been ticked, and Arsenal might go in for Aymeric Laporte. And experience is really key, because that centre back of Arsenal lacks experience, especially Gabriel Magalhaes doesn't have experience, especially in the Champions League where they are going. Then when you look at Saliba, also lacks experience, and the reason that's why they are in for Julian Timber, it's because he has played in the Champions League for close to 2-3 seasons, and he knows exactly what happens there, and he has lifted trophies. He's a winner. When you look at Aymeric Laporte, won the Champions League with Man City, played in the Champions League final, he has been winning leagues, and he recently won a trophy with the Spanish national team. That is the UEFA League of Nations trophy that they lifted after beating Croatia, I think, on penalties. So, as it stands, it's all about Arsenal reinforcing more and more and more and more. As we thought that it's all over, it's not yet over. It's still going on and on and on and on. Arsenal are really trying to push hard to see to it that they really get in more players. I won't be surprised if at all that deal is pulled on by Arsenal as Aymeric Laporte joins Mikel Arteta. But the big question is, the rivalry or the battle for the player is really huge. Aston Villa, Tottenham Hotspur, and now Arsenal joins the race. So, who is gonna win this race? That is the biggest question, because when you see three teams tussling it out for a single player, you anticipate what we call a bidding war. But obviously, if you are Aymeric Laporte, you would love to go to Arsenal while they are playing the Champions League. They competed with your former team, with your team Man City, on the league, so you wouldn't like to see yourself losing out on lots of things like those. So you would have gone ahead to say that let's go in for it and see how it really pans out to be. So that is Julian Timber and Aymeric Laporte for you. Now, Kieran Tierney, having talked about him that maybe he's going to leave, there is another story coming in from the Sports Witness hitting him hard, and that means Arteta doesn't have him in his future. And we are being told by Arsenal, we are being told by Sports Witness that Arsenal have reportedly entered the race for Sporting Lisbon centre back, that is Goncalo Inacio, who is a target for Man United, Newcastle, and Liverpool. Now, sorry about that. Arsenal have gone ahead to really enter the race of Goncalo Inacio. Goncalo Inacio is a left back, and who plays in the left back position of Arsenal. You'll obviously know that it's Zinchenko, and sharing that role with Tierney. And Tierney is one of those that doesn't want to be at Arsenal anymore, because the manager showed him that even if Zinchenko is injured, he cannot play him as left back. Even if Tomiyasu is injured, they play their Jakub Kivio. So it shows you that he's really one of those that doesn't really match the levels that Arteta really wants. And when you look at Goncalo Inacio, he has gone ahead to play 33 games in the Premier La Liga, 1 goal, 3 assists. Then UEFA Europa League, 6 matches, and he played and scored 1 goal. In the Taça da Liga, like the FA Cup of Portugal, 6 matches, 2 goals. And then Champions League, he played 6 games and obviously scored 0 goals and put up 0 assists. 21 years of age, he's really an exciting left back that you'll obviously want to watch and keep you in the mood. But does Arsenal have the money to spend it on all these players? That is it, because after going ahead to really bring in Rice, Julian Timber, Kai Havertz, their budget is close to £210 million. And Fabrizio told us yesterday about Romeo Lavia, however much they're interested in him, but they first need to sell to buy, because the moment they cough out £45 million on Romeo Lavia, right, that means they would have gone ahead to hit £260 million spent. So the likes of Goncalo, Inacio, Aymeric Laporte linked to Arsenal. Does Arsenal have the money to bring them in? But there is something in common about all those players that he's bringing in, especially Aymeric Laporte, Inacio, and Julian Timber. They all hold huge Champions League experience, and Mikel Arteta knows it that if he goes with his naivety in the Champions League, these players might shame him at a point X. So guys, thank you very much for watching through. Tell me your thoughts about Timber to Arsenal plan of action set, right? Medical examinations included. What do you think about Aymeric Laporte to Arsenal? Would you want him to be signed at Arsenal? And lastly, Inacio, would you like him at Arsenal? I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. May the living true God bless you abundantly. I sign out for now. See you later. Ciao, ciao.